without further ado, this is when you walk in the door. There's my door there, and I've got the mud kitchen set up here. I have these Fruits of the Spirit pictures. Those are from Grace Lace, and it's some beautiful artwork there. And then over here, I've got a place with tissues and a mirror hanging so that the children can get the hang of wiping their noses. And of course, during our actual school days, these are filled up so that this becomes a working sink, and this is where they fill up their water glasses, which are in this cupboard here. And it's also where they fill up the watering can to water the plant, and where they fill up this pitcher if they want to have a pitcher at the table during snacks so that they can refill their glass. This is also where they wash their own dishes, and so this little thing right here has dish soap inside, and they've also got this sponge to use. I'll probably add another one before the beginning of the year, but this side I teach them to do the soapy water in, and then this side is the rinse water, and there's buckets underneath so that they can empty it out. There's also a spray bottle under here with some rags for cleaning, and then also some rags for cleaning spills in the back. And there is an apron here, and this is the dustpan for cleaning all kinds of messes. And I have this little crummer dustpan for just cleaning up little snack messes. Okay, and then, yeah, this is the broom that they use as well. And here are their cubbies and bins. I've got 8 students this year, which I am so excited to have an even smaller class this year. It makes for a lot of great one-on-one and small group learning time, so I am very excited about that. So they will keep their notebooks and things and changes of clothes in there, and then in winter time they'll have some winter stuff in here. They can put lunch boxes in there too, and of course they have their hooks for their backpacks. And then over here we've got the cloth washing station. So when they clean in the classroom, whether it be, their desks, or if they're cleaning the mats on the floor or anything like that, then they can go ahead and wash their own things. Now I'm going to add soap to this station before school starts so that they can use the washboard and again wash and then rinse, and they use the buckets under there, and then they can simply hang it to dry there. And I do have clothespins for them to do that. While we're on cleaning stuff, I've also got this sweet duster. It is really awesome. I love to use it on the math beads and the metal insets and stuff, things that are really a pain to dust. So the children can do that, and they think it's a lot of fun. And then this for little areas, like sometimes the math beads need a little bit extra help to get clean. Obviously, here's where I keep the paints for them, and then these are some pouring works up at the top that they can do. Pouring here, obviously pouring with a funnel here, and then this one with a syringe. That's great for that pincer grip. And each work has a sponge so that they can clean up after themselves. This is, of course, just Play-Doh, having fun with all of these kind of foresty type things. And then this one was a favorite last year. that I put together. It's just a bucket with sand and stones. Oh, they've already got some of them out. I usually have them buried in there, and then they can use these scoops to put the sand and the stones through the sifter, and then they collect the stones in here, or really however they want to. It's not one of those works where they have to do it the way that they're introduced. I don't introduce these works. They can use them at any time. The snack stuff, again, is over here. We've got cloth napkins. That would be another thing that they could wash over at the cloth washing stand. I have larger plates in here in case they would need those, and some extra napkins. And then down here, I've got an extra one of these pitchers and snack plates. And yes, occasionally, like, I mean, maybe 3 times last year, there was a child who broke something, and then we learned the importance of handling classroom materials gently, and they also learn how to clean things up for themselves, and it works out just fine. Okay, so yeah, we've also got pictures over here for the land and water forms, and I use this land and water book and also these 3-part cards. I introduce just 2 at a time. There's sand in here already. I introduce just 2 land and water forms at a time in the beginning of the year. Okay, and then we've got our sand. And one thing that I do with the sand in the beginning of the year is we do sandpaper letters, which you'll see over there. That's a Montessori thing, but I'll have the sandpaper letters over here at times, and then they'll also just trace the shape that they just did on the sandpaper letter in this sand. But I also have some trucks that they can play in the sand with, and so this is definitely like the favorite thing in the entire classroom is this, especially when they have the trucks in there. Okay, this is a little table where they can have their snack. They can set it up here. They can set their place setting, have snack with a friend during work time. And over here we've got a kind of little geography section. I am missing my Alaska piece, so I've got to get that replaced. But I've got some books for them to explore geography, and then I've got the world map, the United States map, and the Montessori globe of the continents, which we use right away in the beginning of the year. And then I also have this continent mat, and there's a game that they play with that with animals, and the animals for the continents and the continent dice is in that little box down under the basket with the blanket in it there. I've got teddy bears so that when we have quiet work time and they're reading a book, they can snuggle with the teddy bear if they want to. This is where I do a lot of like one-on-one reading practice with them as they get to be better readers throughout the year. And then this is our kindergarten library, which I absolutely love. I have so many great books over here for them to explore and look at, and many of them I read as read-alouds, or some of them I do use for Bible lessons as well. And then I have some readers up here. These are Miss Rhonda's readers, the set 1 and set 2 that we use. And then I have more readers in here. These are the really simple Miss Rhonda's readers. And then these are excellent. What are they called? I'll have to find that out for you guys, because really these readers are so great for those beginning readers. Now, I also have them make their own books with phonic sounds, and they sound out the words on their own with me, and make these books themselves, and then they practice reading them. I'll have to do maybe a video on how I go about teaching reading, but those are hugely helpful in their learning process. And they can also bring them home. I've got a couple of keyboards here. I do teach them a little bit about where the notes are on the piano, how to play a C scale, and how to play a major chord, and a few things like that. I used to be the music teacher here. Now they do have music as a special, but I give them a little bit extra music stuff. We don't have tons of time to do that in here, but I do like to do a little bit of that. Okay, over here we've got their smaller chalkboards, which they use both for phonics and for math. And these have been such a great tool. I absolutely love having these for the children. I've got to add my chalk over here. I have to get some new chalk because last year we just obliterated the chalk. Okay, these are just some more readers. The Bob Books sight word ones I used last year. I think that they're super helpful just for getting sight words really quick. And then I've got some puzzles just for fun. I've got flags for pledges down under there, as well as Band-Aids, sidewalk chalk, and our Bible. Okay, and then over here I've got dressing frames, as well as a braiding board. The children absolutely loved learning to braid, and they did this all the time last year. They just were always practicing that new skill. There's tying and buckling and buttoning and snapping and all of those great fine motor practice there. This is my desk, and I've got some books and things in my binders that I utilize in coming up with lesson plans. I've got tea because I love tea, and this is where I store extra paper, both for watercolor painting and just for drawing. I've got this is where I keep track of where each student is at in their learning, and then this is where I do lesson planning. And then I've got some awesome coloring pages by, I don't know how to say her name, but I think it's Laura Pemberton. Anyways, they are precious, and I will make some more photocopies of those before the year starts and get them over here into our coloring area. And then, yeah, I've got crayons and colored pencils, and over here I've got the metal inset shelf. Oh, also like our little snack station here. When the school year actually starts, I'll have like the apples and bread down here, and then I'll have the apple cutter for them to use. I'll kind of keep the tools in here, and they'll be able to be independent in making their snack. Okay, over here I've got some practical life stuff on the shelf, just like the first dressing frames that they will use I've got out on the shelf. So just this easy buttoning frame, and then zipper, and then this is like cloth folding exercise. It gives them different ways to fold, and they really do enjoy these. And then this one is a table setting activity. It's got the outlines for everything except for the napkin, unfortunately, but that's okay. When I introduce the work, I show them. Okay, and then over here, I've got the Biome Readers, which we won't use at the very beginning of the year. Probably won't use them at all until the second half of the year. At least I didn't last year, because they do have to know some sight words and things like that before they can even start on the easiest level, which is the red. So I wait a little while, and then they progress through these, and I really loved using these with the kids at the end of the year. It was awesome. These ones are also good for, like, if a child needs really extra practice to get some of these sounds, then these are helpful. Those are also Washeka. Is it Washeka or Washeka? I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know. I had someone give me these uppercase, smaller sandpaper letters, and so I didn't use them last year. I only used the lowercase, but I think this year I might have an activity where they match uppercase and lowercase, because I don't have these children in preschool. I don't have like a 3 to 6 Montessori class. I just have kindergarten. A lot of them are coming in not knowing anything. So they do, some of them need to even know the capitals. So we'll use those, I think. Okay, so this over here is mostly the language shelf, but I did keep our continent boxes down here for now. Last year I had all just language here, but once I got the continent boxes, they just fit so nicely there, and I can't really find another good place for them. So at the moment, they're there. These are the Washeka, I'm just going to say it like that, kind of phonics drawers. I don't remember the name of them, but it's a great reading program. It really is, and I like to use it in conjunction with other things that I'm doing. So yeah, it progresses. For all these drawers, there is kind of a different phonic sound. And so yeah, they think it's really fun. I write down up on the board like which drawer everyone is on. You know, like so-and-so is on blue too, and they're always checking the board to see, oh, which one am I on? And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Okay, 3-part cards here, obviously, and then right here I've got an I Spy game. These are the first 3 letters, 3 phonics sounds that I'll be doing with the children. And so what I will do before school starts is I will put miniature objects in here that start with each of these phonics sounds, and there will be a whole bunch of them, like more than one of each. I'll show you where I keep them in a moment, but there will be several of each, and they will be mixed up on the rug, and then I'll say, I spy something that begins with the sound S. Okay, and then they'll have, the person whose turn it is has to look at the objects and find one of them that starts with S, and pick it up and put it underneath the S. These will be spread out on a work mat, so that there's room for them to do all of that. Anyways, that is a really fun one to do at the beginning of the year, the I Spy. Okay, sandpaper letters, of course, and then these ones are tracing with this, and they find that more fun than handwriting worksheets. What do you know? And then this is the phonetic object box, one from Montessori Services. Yeah, they're very easily decodable CVC words mostly, and little objects. They just love these little objects so much, so that really engages them. Obviously these are continent boxes, and I have books for each continent, and I also have this time I just have like landmarks and stuff in them. I would like to get some more stuff in them at some point when I can. I do also have continent cards, but we don't use those until later in the year that have like animals and people from the different continents. We kind of do like a unit at the end of biomes and the biomes of the continents and animals of those biomes. These are just the movable alphabets, small movable alphabets. We have 2 right here that we use all the time. This is the math shelf, and I realize this video is getting long, so I won't go into as much detail. But yeah, bead stairs, clocks, fractions, golden bead materials, and then the teens and tens boards. This is the Montessori bead cabinet. Then we've got our calendar. I've got geometric shapes, and then these are kind of like 3-part cards for both planes and geometric solids. And then yeah, I keep my calendar stuff just in this basket here. Then I've got some more geometry stuff, the construction triangles, a geo board here with rubber bands in this little container. And then these are structured arithmetic materials, which I am excited to try out. I found them in my closet, and I am excited to add them to my math materials and teaching. Over here is sensorial stuff. We've got all kinds of pouring and transferring things. I do have some patterning, and we've got color sorting, light, medium, dark, color sorting by colors. And of course, we've got the knobbed cylinder blocks. This one and the screwdriver one are definite favorites of the children. Okay, we've got these sweet puzzles up here. And all of these activities aren't just about sorting, they're also about fine motor skills. Okay, over here we've just got some beautiful art. Again, Laura Pemberton. And then I've got the kind of solar system stuff over here and moon phases stuff out right now. Botany books. This is kind of the science area here. At the beginning of the year, I've got stuff out about sunflowers. We've got beautiful sunflowers growing in our school garden that we get to go out and actually see in person, along with some other beautiful things. Up here I just store some extra puzzles that I'll be using later in the year. And here I've got some phonics flashcards. And then here I've got those Mama made them trucks that we use in the sand. So much fun. Here I've just got some mandala. I don't know how you say that either. Mandala pieces, wrap up, and kids love those. Over here I've got just some calming, sensory fun toys that the kids just really gravitate towards and love. I mean, who doesn't love these, right? We love these. And then I do play music in here sometimes, and I also use this Grace and Courtesy book at the beginning of the year to talk about classroom expectations and respect. And yeah, over here is kind of like when they've done their work, they can come play have some imaginative playtime. And that is all of that. I will show you quickly in my closet. This is where I keep the miniatures. They're alphabetized so that I can just grab out the boxes that I need and stick them in the I Spy game. This is where I keep the 3-part cards. We've got some putty, cleaning supplies, all kind of storage stuff here. More stuff for like switching out pouring and transferring works. These are the Biome continent cards here, and that is the Biomes world map that I get out at that part of the year. I've got more math materials up here when we get there, like the 100 board and the addition strip board and subtraction jars, and this one is coin sorting. Yeah, just some different math materials that we'll get out later in the year. I've got some sewing works there. Here I've got some things for phonics, some mirrors so that they can see the shapes that their mouths are making. Here I'll be putting some more extra clothes in this. Got some games and puzzles that maybe a sub would want to use. Some extra paintbrushes are in here. Some lacing things that were in this closet that I thought I might get out at some point. And then this is the color mixing work. And this is the float or sink work in here. This is coin stuff. This is like extra things for like math games, dice, and some number sense stuff. And then this is life cycles for frogs and butterflies that we'll get out later in the year. And yeah, that I've got that poster that I'll get out for music at some point. That is all. Thanks for coming with me on this long journey. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.